Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey gang, welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guidance servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Bryan+Post. Hope everyone's doing fantastic today. Coming to you from very sunny yet very wet Oklahoma. Got back from New York City last night at about midnight, and so just been going strong all day, trying to get some work done before I head out to Calgary, Canada, Wednesday morning, and get to go see the fine folks at Woods Homes. So, and nothing, I'm going a little fast because I'm not sure when I'm going to start getting attacked by mosquitoes. I don't know about you guys. Mosquitoes love me. They absolutely love me. So I wanted to do this outside because it's such a beautiful evening. But then again, I'm a little paranoid because I know because it's wet, mosquitoes are probably going to start coming along at any given time. So I'm going to shoot on through this episode. So tonight's topic is, can you hear me? And what does that mean? Can you hear me speaks to attunement. Attunement is the dance between the parent and child. It's the connection. It's the tie that binds. It's the music that you listen to. It's the vibration, the vibrational alignment between you and your child that's nonverbal. There are no words. It's very much a natural flow between you and your child where you know, it's almost intuitive, where you know when something's going on with your child, or something's not okay with your child, or you have a sense that your child's in, like, something's going on or in some certain space. It's just an intuitive knowing. That's attunement, and so it's referred to as the dance between the parent and child because you have to be in rhythm. You have to be in sync. You have to be connected. And so what makes me think about this topic, hey Jen, what makes me think about this topic is I saw a picture on Instagram, a couple of pictures actually, and it's very disturbing. Made me very sad. It's around a gotcha day, right? Gotcha meaning the day that the family got the child who was placed for adoption. So they call it a gotcha day. And they were showing the pictures of this little boy, and he's probably 2 years old, 3 years old, and he's completely distraught. I mean, he's distressed. He was crying in the picture, and they're all around the cake, what have you. And then the family are all smiling and laughing and smiling for the picture, and the baby is crying. And there's something really wrong with that picture. And what's wrong with it fundamentally is that tells me there's no attunement. Because attunement says, my child is in a state of distress. Let me attend to my child. This is very important because it also ties in with a coaching call I did today with a parent. Attunement says, my child is in distress. Let me attend to my child. Attunement begins when children are very small. It begins in infancy. And I know as adoptive parents, sometimes you don't get your children in infancy. Sometimes you get them at other points in their age span. But at whatever point you guys get connected and you start to build a secure attachment bond, attunement starts to underlie that attachment bond. And I'm going to say that again. Attunement underlies the attachment bond. So attunement is the vibration, is the music that underlies the attachment bond. If you are misattuned from your child, then you're not connecting with your child. See, this is very important. Attunement is the connection that's nonverbal, and it doesn't require any words. It doesn't require anything other than a felt sense. But here's what disrupts attunement. Stress disrupts attunement. When you are stressed as a parent, your attunement receptor is turned down. When your child is stressed, their attunement receptor is turned down. But really, fundamentally, it is our responsibility as parents to be attuned to our children. That's how we get connected. That's how we dance with them. That's how we That's how we navigate relationships with them. And this is so important. When your child is acting outside of their window of tolerance, when they're dysregulated, meaning they've gone beyond their ability to regulate their own stress, then they're telling you they're out of sync. And they need you to connect with them. They need you to align with them. They need you to get attuned with them. They need you to dance with them. They need you to help them get back in rhythm. But if you're stressed and anxious, then you're misattuned. Right? You can see visually that they're stressed out and overwhelmed, but what you don't see is that you're anxious and stressed and therefore misattuned. And if you're misattuned, then you're missing the connection opportunity. And when you miss the connection opportunity, what really that sets you up for is an inability to help your child repair their state of dysregulation. And that becomes so important because secure attachment is not just the regulation of emotion between two people. It is also the effective repair of emotion between two people. So, hey, thank you, Jen. You should see the bottom. It's quite interesting. So it's the effective repair of emotion between two people. And so if you're not attuned, then you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be in sync. I hear parents say this all the time. His behavior is unpredictable. I couldn't predict her behavior. Everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden, boom. No, that doesn't exist. All behavior is predictable when you're attuned, when you're paying attention. But if you're busy, now hear me on this. If you're busy, hey there, Post. If you're busy, aka Mimi, aka Mom, if you're busy doing 3 or 4 other things, and all of a sudden, your child starts to have a behavior episode, you can't say that the behavior wasn't predictable because you weren't paying attention, because you weren't tuned in, you weren't dialed in. And when you're not tuned in and dialed in, the signal's not connected. And so attunement becomes so important. It's like, if all of a sudden your child has a behavior episode and it doesn't look predictable, and I love this, I really love this dynamic for you as a parent. If your child has a behavior episode and you're like, that was not predictable, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop it. I want you to think. First of all, what were you doing? What were you literally, physically doing leading up to that behavior episode? Like, what were you thinking about? Who were you attending to? What activities were you doing? Number one. So that's your number one sign that you probably missed a signal. Number two, what was the lead up for your child up to that behavior episode? What was going on with your child in that sequence of events before that episode happened? See, there could have been a whole number of things. And the things could have started first thing in the morning. The things could have started last night, but you don't know if you're not tuned in. So attunement becomes really important. Now, how do you create attunement? By slowing down and paying attention. Those are the two biggest ways. I think I got a mosquito bite. Those are the two biggest ways to create attunement. Slowing down and paying attention. You have to slow down. And when I say slow down, I mean slow down your breathing. Slow down your own rhythm. Slow down your own pace. And then pay attention to your child. Observe. Just watch. And I said to a mom today in regards to her son having a behavioral episode, I said sometimes you just have to, see, I see a big old mosquito up against that's going to make me start itching. Sometimes you just have to stop. When your child's having a behavior incident, stop talking. Stop talking. And just watch them. Just watch them. Literally, just watch them. It's not life or death. You think it's life or death because your brain, your amygdala is worked up. It's not life or death. Just stop and observe them. And as you're observing them, take a deep breath. Bring yourself down. And then what happens is you start turning on your attunement receptor. When you start turning on your attunement receptor, you start paying attention to your child in a different way. And then you might say something quietly. You might say something firmly. You may do something different. You never know what you will do when you turn down that attunement receptor. So that's how you become more attuned, by slowing down and paying attention. You've got to do those two things. You've got to slow yourself down. You've got to breathe. And you've got to pay attention to what's going on with your child. When you do that, you're going to dial your attunement receptor back up. But as long as you're stressed and anxious, your attunement receptors turn down. As long as your attunement receptors turn down, you're going to be out of sync. You guys are going to be listening to a different rhythm. You're going to be on a different page. And that's what's going to lead to so many of those challenges that you feel like are outside of your control. There's nothing outside of your control. But I like to think of it better as being within your influence. When you're able to focus on the relationship. See, when you focus on relationship, you're focusing on getting back into alignment. When your only thought in the moment of whatever challenge your child is having is, how can I be in stronger relationship with my child right now? How can I make my child feel more secure right now? How can I make my child feel more connected? How can I calm myself to connect with my child better, to help them feel safer, to help them feel more regulated, and to turn on their oxytocin response? See, you start lining up when you start asking those questions. Remember, guys, in any given situation, we always have two choices. We can go into autopilot and we just become unconscious, and we will react from the same blueprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm without thinking. We'll just do the same thing and we expect a different result. Or we can stop. We can take 3 to 10 deep breaths. You hear that sound? You still hear that bird? Isn't that a beautiful thing? We slow down, we take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and we choose love. God bless you. Big Papa loves you. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out postparentingcamp.com, go check it out. Post Parenting Camp 2019 is going to come here August 16th to 17th in Oklahoma City. Come spend 2 days with Big Papa. Bring your kids. We'll get a little work in with them too. We'll have youth counselors on site to hang out with the kids, have all kinds of activities, swimming, outside things, all that kind of great stuff. Although it's going to be scorching in Oklahoma in August, but we're going to be scorching inside the building as we scorch fear. We're going to decimate fear, and we're going to create space for love. So check out Post Parenting Camp 2019, and also don't forget to get your free copy of From Fear to Love, feartolovebook.com. All right, God bless you. Big Papa loves you. I'll see you tomorrow.